Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face. Welcome back to another edition of this Motorsport Manager career. We're on the Motorsport Manager 3 mobile game. This is the third video of the day, the second on this game. The video for the Williams career on the PC version went up a little bit earlier today. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check that out. We had a pretty decent race in the rain. I will put a link in the description below. But as it is, we're back today. We've got the Cape Town Grand Prix, which was the equivalent of Monaco in this Motorsport Manager game. Obviously, Monaco has been added now, so like I said in the previous video, hopefully that's going to be an addition on the PC version of the game. As it is, our drivers are pretty good. We're first on the grid overall as in regards to driver performance. We need some work to do on the staff. We've got some work to do on the car as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to start building some parts. It's going to cost... No, actually, we're going to go back first because we've got an engineer to hire. I wanted to hire the famous engineer that we got last time out, although he was called Jerry Smith, although famous staff Stephen Edwards. I think that's because after the last race I didn't actually save the game before I exited, so all this sort of stuff that we did after the race and new bonuses and stuff, I've had to go and redo them again. I've done them all exactly the same, but instead of Jerry Smith being here, we've got someone called Stephen Edwards. He's about the same. He is famous. It's going to cost a little bit more per race, so we're going to replace our worst engineer, which is Melanie Hager. So we're going to replace her. It's going to cost us a little bit of money per race, but we're actually making money at the moment. We've got quite a bit of money in the bank as well. We should be making money from sponsors. So we've got Stephen Edwards joining the team now, which means we can actually go in and start working on the car. We can only build a front wing at the moment. It's going to cost $650,000. So we're going to go for Sundgren. We're going to get Johanna Stein working on the reliability of the car. And Stephen Edwards doesn't add much to performance at all, does he? So I think what we're going to do is get Johanna Stein working on the performance and we'll just add the reliability there. Or is it going to be worth it to get the more reliability? What's the difference? 7 points is quite a bit of difference. What would happen if we actually bent the rules? It would cost us 30. I think we want to sort of keep our influence for further seasons. I'm guessing we can just keep building the influence. It won't reset after the season. But I think that's the best we're going to do. We can get that built. Obviously, it's going to take a week to build. I think there's 2 weeks to Cape Town before we get to that actual race there. So yes, it just takes 1 week to build that. As it is with the headquarters, should we actually get building something else with the headquarters? Should we go for this? What would this do? Hospitality tents. Unlock a 6 sponsor slot. Would cost 2 million for that. It's a little bit too much at the moment. We've got some work that we can do with the drivers. A staff gym. 0.25 improvement points per race. Increases the rate at which drivers gain improvement points. That's going to cost 1.5 million. As regards here, we can get a ride handling centre to work on the suspension or a brakes facility to start working on the brakes. I don't think we're going to need to work on the parts this season, so I think we should just hold the money back. I don't really want to go with the drivers either. So what is this we can do here? Outsource logistics. Can target 1 additional node in the supplier network. What should we go for? There is a point where we can get this. If we get the hospitality tent, it's going to cost us a little bit of money, but we just sort of want to be sort of like a hog and just like hoard money. The more money we can get, it's going to be a worthwhile investment. I think is $2 million. So if we can get that built, it's going to take 2 races. And I don't know how much money we're going to have to keep back for next year's car. That is available in 2 races time that we can start working on next year's car. But as it is, the staff is now up to 4th. Hopefully the car is going to improve. So we'll just skip ahead on the calendar. We've got a non-race weekend coming up. And I've really got used to seeing that. So I'm guessing we've lost some sponsors here. And we've got the part build complete of the front wing. Front wing performance 80, 30 better than expected, and the reliability 6% better than expected. I don't know whether that's down to do with that famous staff member that we've got, so that's gone all the way up to 80%. So what we're going to do is we'll just swap these parts so Lettinen gets that slightly better front wing, and we'll give the new part to Michael Barra, so he's going to be overpowered here. Hopefully he's going to have a really good race in Cape Town. So as we see, the car is looking pretty good here. The reliability is up at 70%. We get a little bit more XP as well. So first on the grid, the car is still 7th on the grid. But what we're going to do is we're going to move back in. And once again, we're going to build another new front wing. We'll just follow what we did last time. Obviously, it's going to improve over the part that we had in last time. We won't get up to a 98, and that won't be ready for this race. I don't think it's not going to be completed in time for the race weekend, but it should be ready for the race after this one, which I think is Bahrain we've got coming up. And yes, it's going to be ready for that, although the front wing isn't a critical part for that, although it is here. So we should have a good race in Cape Town here. So I think we've got some sponsors to look at. If we just view these offers, we've got an upfront payment of 500,000. None of these are really going to be ones that we're going to be using because they're quite low. Although for Rogerson we get a good upfront payment, it's only going to last 2 races, so we're going to definitely go for that one because we're not going to be taking the bonus. We get a little bit of influence as well. We get some money in the bank. We've got view offers. Jandamore 4 races, upfront payment of 200,000, 7 for or above, 275,000. I think we're going to keep that one, although maybe we could have waited for another offer to come in there. We should have waited and seen if we could have got a better offer, but yeah, whatever. As it is, 550,000 per thing for second or above, and I think second or above is actually realistically something we should be aiming for. So we get a little bit of influence as well there, which is always good to just hang on to that influence. So, and we're building the HQ upgrade, so we should have this available to us soon, the 6th slot as well, which is going to do us a lot of good as regards to money going forward. As it is, we're still making money per race, so we're just going to skip ahead to the race weekend now. We've got the game on autosave, so which is that save there, and we're going to go for this one here. So if we can get this second or above in qualifying and the race, we're in for a really good money haul here. So we'll just jump into the race and get into qualifying, just see what we can do with the card game, whether we're going to take any risks with what we're going to be doing. So here we go with the South African Grand Prix. Continue Cape Town coming up, just skip over start qualifying, and we'll send Latinen out on track first. She's only got 7 still here. I don't know which mechanic it is or why the other, I guess I haven't actually seen where we assign race mechanics, but whatever, our better driver does have the better mechanic. This one's going to cost 2 to 10 if we go for the one that gives us plus 16%, so we'll take the risk on that 8 and we've bust, so we're not going to get any disaster. The last tweet could not have gone worse. The Latinen is not going to get any real improvement there, so at least we know what happens if we do actually bust. We've got a 3 to 15 here that gives us a plus 24. Let's risk that 12, which takes up all the points, luckily there, so we're not going to try anything else. We're going to get Barras out on track now, and we'll just speed up the session here. So let's see what sort of let's see what I thought there was only 3 cars that were going to be coming out then, but anyway, we're just going to see what sort of lap times we can get out of Barras now with that upgraded front wing. We should be in a good position. He is possibly the best driver in this series because we've got the best driver lineup. We had the best driver lineup when we had the 1-star rated driver in there, so I'm guessing Barras is a long way above and beyond the other drivers in this series here. And Barras 8 tenths quicker than his teammate. It looks like he's going to be up there as regards to lap time. He's 6 tenths quicker still at the moment. Got both cars on their in lap. We're going to just go out as quick as we can. There's no real penalty for just getting straight back out. It doesn't look like there's no restriction on the amount of tyres you can use, and we need Latinen to get out on track and use some bonuses here. So we'll go with the 5%, 0 points used there, and 3 to 8. We're not even, should we risk that one? Should we risk it again? 4 points. Luckily we didn't bust that time, and we've only got 3 points left. I don't really want to risk another 4 points on this one, but should we risk Latinen? She's not really in the running, and she did quite well off that first one, so 1 point used there, so we get another quick boost, and nothing there worth risking at all. So we're going to get Latinen straight back out. We might even be able to get a 3rd qualifying lap here done, and we'll continue. We've got a 0 to 9 13%. Let's use that one. 2 points used, so we're going to have a really quick car here. Is this one even worth it? 3 to 20 plus 28%. I don't even think that one's worth it. We'll just go this one. We'll just keep going with whatever comes up here. 1 to 10. That's a little bit of a risk. 7 worth the risk. It goes in our favour. We're now almost half a second quicker on the base setup, so we're going to get both cars back out on track here. See if we can go any quicker Hopefully we can sort of get going a little bit quicker here. Keep Barras. He's 6 tenths ahead already though. So it looks like he's going to be in for a really good race. We've made a really big advancement with that front wing that we've built. And are we going to be going any quicker this time out? Latinen should be going quite a bit quicker because she's actually got a decent setup this time. Whether we can get her up into second place is another question. She's not going quicker than Barras, obviously. That 8 tenths is almost impossible for her to close down. But she goes quicker. Oh, it said she went quicker. No, she was a lot slower in Sector 3, as was Barras over the whole lap. He doesn't really pick up any sort of advantage there. I think we're going to be able to get back in the pits and get out for a third lap here. So we're going to be able to make another improvement with the setup here. So if we get back out again, we continue. And we'll use this one. The other one's not worth it. We've got 3 points left now with Latinen. It's not even worth it. We'll get her straight back out here onto the track. And we'll do the same once again with Barras. Just play this little card game again. 3 to 20 for that one. Is that even worth it? If we bust now, would that bust everything? And we'd lose that 57%? Or would it only go with this one? Let's risk it. 17, we've actually bust. Is that just going to wipe out everything? We lost a little bit on this setup, but at least it's worth it to know what would happen in future and whether the risk's actually worth it. As it is, we're going to get back out for this third qualifying lap. Latinen has slipped down to 4th place. She might have the chance of going a little bit quicker. Barras might be able to go a little bit quicker. He's still got some improvement to make over that first lap, considering this setup is still better than the one that we did the first lap on. So hopefully Latinen can go a little bit quicker this lap. She's slower over the first sector. We're not actually picking up time, even though we've increased the setup for some reason. Sharma goes quicker into 2nd place, obviously still nowhere near Barras. Latinen can't improve, neither does Barras, so that is qualifying over and done with here. We're going to get into the race next. Just wait for qualifying to finish. Pole position for Barras in the Fuzz Nation Racing team. And let's get ready for this Cape Town Grand Prix now. Qualifying over and done with. We succeeded in first, so we picked up that £550,000 bonus. Now we'll get straight into the race. There we go. We see our pole position. And just going to see what we're going to do. We're going to start on the Ultra Softs. I think there's 22 laps here. We can do 7 laps on this Ultra to start the racing. So that is going to be right for that. We might even switch up Latinen here a little bit, although she can only do 5 laps on the Ultra Soft. But I'm thinking we're going to be quite a bit slower if we do that. As it is, look at the driving style. She uses 12.6 per lap. So we're just going to keep her in neutral. Otherwise, she'll be pitting really early on that. And we'll run in high mode with her. Whereas with Barras, he does only 10.4%, so we're going to get him attacking on the first lap, try and hold on to that pole position, the first place that we've got off the pole position, and we're just going to keep going with the mechanic bonuses here. We've got a plus 8% on super soft tyre performance or fuel burns 3% lower, neither of which are there. We're just going to take the mechanic relationship boost from this Cape Town Grand Prix. So here we go, getting into the race now. Quick little bit of zoom. And are we off the line? All right here. Barras gets away into first place. It looks like he's going to hold on to this first place. And we've got Sharma and Sapaga behind us. Are we going to be able to hold on to this first place? It looks like we're going to be able to do that. So after about the first lap, we might even be able to get to turn down the counter. And we might even be able to get to do it now. And we can just hold on to these tyres and just not really push the fuel as it is. Latinen has dropped down to 6. You use a lot of fuel just from pushing the car. As you can see, if you run in high mode, you use a fuel delta of 0.48 per lap. Whereas in medium, it's only you get 0.02 back. So I'm just going to run in medium here. I don't want to use too much fuel in the early going. It looks like we've got rain coming in 24 minutes. A lap time here, so it's going to be towards the end of the race. I don't think we're going to be able to see when the rain's coming if we look at the weather. No, we can't. So we've just got to prepare for rain here, so we're going to have to go ultra and then maybe go for the harder compound tyre so we can stretch things out until the rain comes, because it looks like there is maybe 11 laps until the rain, so maybe even the super soft will get us to that point. It probably would with Barras, and maybe not with Latinen pretty slow in the race. She's not able to follow up on her qualifying performance here, but she's in 8th place at the moment. We're just hoping that Barras can keep us going. He's got about a 2-second gap at the moment. As it is, he's doing 10% per lap, so we might even need to push him a little bit, otherwise we're going to be sort of a little bit out of sync with the tyre wear, because as it is, he's 55% using 10%. No, we'll just keep him going as it is. He should be able to do another 4 laps here. Lattinen not burning through this tyre as quickly, although we see it drop to 6% between the two. Just as I say that, he's currently 8th place. We don't really have much room to push with the tyres. 17 minutes until the rain actually does come. 17 laps to go. Barras currently in first. He's now got a gap of almost 3 seconds, so it looks like we could have the race in the bag for Barras unless we make a mistake. What is the fuel? 12%. What, just as we come around here, we should be able to get another lap out of Lattinen. Once she comes past the pits, we're going to have to set her up for her second pit stop. 15 minutes until the rain. This can do 8 laps, so we're going to go on the soft just so we can stretch Lattinen out until the rain does actually come. So we're going to get into the pit. The car condition on Barris's car is only at 35% here, so we might even need to think about fixing that car when he comes into the pit. So hopefully he's going to have a decent advantage here. 27% left on his tyres, 25%, so we can get him to attack mode as he sets up his pit stop now. How long would it take to fix the car? 16 seconds. It's going to take 10 seconds to fix the car. No, we'll wait until we have to switch to the intermediates to do that. There could be, how long is it until the rain? 30 minutes. So we could get on the super softs with Barras, keep him pretty quick here, and then get onto the intermediates once the rain does start. I don't know how heavy this rain is actually going to be. It's going to start in a couple of laps time, maybe, and maybe even sooner than we actually thought. But there we go with Lattinen's pit stop. Little new graphic, and out of the pits. She comes out in 20th place. We just need to stretch her on this soft tyre. Barras is going to come into this pits this time. Sharma is going to stay out on track. We're going to go neutral just so we can stretch this out, and hopefully we can get a nice quick pit stop done here. 4.9 seconds, that seems pretty quick. We get back out into 5th place, 6th place even, back into 5th place over Key, however we would say that. 5th place, so we should be able to stretch out until the rain now. 9 minutes until it does actually come, so we might not even need to hold on to this tyre. We could have actually maybe gone back to a pair of Ultra Sauce, so we can go in attack mode on this tyre, and I think we can go in attack mode definitely on this tyre with Lattinen as well. Currently up into 3rd place. Are we going to be able to see some of the Sharma and Kazowski going to stretch their first set of tyres out until this rain actually does come? We're up into 2nd place, so even after doing a pit stop, we do have to think about regaining some of this fuel as well. It looks like Sharma's going to stretch out until the rain does actually come here. But I'm guessing he's going to pit, maybe get onto an intermediate tyre. No, he's staying out again, is he? No, that wasn't him going past the pits. Sharma does come into the pits. We're going to see what sort of tyre he comes out onto. Is he going to get back out onto an Inter at this point? Sharma comes out of the pits. I can't even see him in the list. Where is he? I've totally lost him. He's come back out on a pair of Ultra Sauce, so he does need to pit again when this rain is going to start. It's going to start any time now, so it looks like an intermediate is going to be the best choice of tyre in the early going here. Barras does have an 11-second lead. Lattinen is in 8th place, currently behind Singer. Dilemma, wrong, it's a bit damp. Yeah, we know it's a bit damp out on track, but I don't think... Oh, what are we even setting up a pit stop for? I don't want to do a pit stop just yet. I just want to see how the rain's going to affect the track at the first... It's going to be the lap after this, isn't it? So should we set them both up to pit this lap? No. Get in for the Inters. Although they don't last that long, do they? If we could hold this out for maybe another lap on this tyre, then we could be able to run to the end on the Inters. We've got that, cancel it. We're going to run one more lap here before we set up our pit stop, just to make sure we can get this intermediate tyre to the end of the race. Although there is some heavier rain coming at the end of the race, I don't think we need to fix the car, and we don't want to set up Lattinen just yet. She's got another lap to do as well. Everyone else looks like they're staying out on track, and the rain has started, so we're going to get Lattinen set up for her pit stop onto these Inters, and hopefully, what can she do on an Inter though? 6 laps, so we might even need to keep Lattinen out one more lap. We're at a point in the race where we could just make this last, and we'll keep that. We're going to keep Barras out. The rain's not that heavy as well. We're going to keep him out just to make sure this Inter definitely can get through to the end of the race. And we'll just pay attention to Lattinen here. slow this race down. Are we going to see cars come into the pits? We are, so we're going to get into the pits. It's going to be pretty touch and go though. We might need to run in low mode, conserve mode, whatever you would call it, with Latinen here. So we're going to get these tyres turned down to neutral, just so we don't forget to do it when she comes out of the pits. And we're going to do the same. No, he can keep going until he comes into the pits. He's staying out for this one extra lap, is Barras. The condition of the car though is at 12%, so maybe we should fix it. Maybe we should go ahead and fix it, since it's only going to cost us 10 seconds. We were 11 seconds ahead before this pit stop, so we're going to get into the pits there. Latinen's going to get in. We're going to get onto these inters. A pretty slow pit stop there, 7.9 seconds, whether that's to do with her pit crew or not, but just over 8 seconds there. But she's back out of the pits now. She should be able to go to the end. 11% per lap. She should be able to just about get there. We might have to run in conserve mode for a little bit here. But as it is, Barras is going to come into the pits. He's got a 31-second lead. Obviously, he's got to come into the pits yet. So where's he going to get back out here? Hopefully we're going to have a nice quick pit stop. But obviously, we've got the tyres on and we've got a long way to go with fixing this car condition. Up, 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 up. Get out of the pits, Barras, into first place. Oh, look at that. Just out into first place. We're going to switch back to neutral here. We should have the pace over Hedges here. But Latinen currently 12th place. 9th place, is that someone that's crashed or someone that's stopped coming out of the pits? So it looked to be a car that was just stopped on the outside of the pits there. We don't want to change out with Barras. We just want to focus the camera back on him. He's under pressure from Hedges. Hedges, I'm guessing, is pushing at the moment. His intermediate tyres are worn down. He might even need to pit, although I don't think he does. We've got 6 laps remaining as it is at the moment. I think we could push for maybe a lap, try and open up this gap for a little bit with Barras, try and get his gap open again. We will have to go in low mode. Are we going to get heavier rain towards the end of this session? We are, but I don't think it's worth coming off the inters. There's not enough time to gain as you would get. Oh, we've got a safety car leaving the pits. Just cancel this at the moment. Let's have a think about this. We're going to keep Barras on these tyres. We're going to conserve just behind the safety car. But I think what we might be able to do, where is Latinen? How many places is she going to lose? Are we going to, should we keep her? Depends how long this safety car is going to be out on track. I don't think it's going to be out that long, but the weather is going to be wet. If we can get in onto a wet tyre, let's just see if anyone else decides to pit here. Doesn't look like anyone else is going to decide to swap for the wet tyre. So if we stay on the inters, we're not going to lose any places either. We're just going to have to keep an eye out here. Is anyone going to decide to come in for this wet tyre? No, the pit stops do take too long here. You got the pit lane and then you got about 7 seconds to switch the tyre. So we're just going to keep running behind the safety car. We're not even going to risk it because it's only going to be like a lap left once the safety car comes in. We're going to be able to push the car in overtake mode and full on attack mode as well. Who was it that crashed? Turton crashed. I don't know what car he's in. But we're lining up behind the safety car now. There's just 1 lap left here. 3 laps left. No, why did I think there was just 1 lap left? Got the safety car. He's heading to the garage, so there's going to be 2 laps left after the safety car comes in. So we're going to get switched back up here. We'll get ready to run in high mode as well. We'll get everything set up for when the safety car's about to go in. Are we starting to lose this fuel already? We're starting to use a lot of it already, so let's switch that back. We've got enough with Barras as it is. There's quite a big gap already after the safety car has come in. The field's already spread back out. But as it goes, we think we can keep pushing as it is with the tyres. We can keep pushing with the fuel to the end of the race. Barras is going to open up this lead once again. Latinen, meanwhile, 9th place. All the other cars will be pushing as well. We just have to watch her fuel that she doesn't get on the slightly low side with the fuel. But we enter the last lap now. I think we're going to have to switch back to medium at some point with Latinen. She's not going to pick up any places here. We can keep pushing the tyres as it is. We might as well switch back to medium. There's no real point risking losing this fuel and forgetting about it. She's got 9th place sorted here. Barras is going to come across the line in first place here though. First place for Barras. It's going to be a 9th place for Mia Latinen. She comes across the line, 9th place there, pretty decent race from her. Hopefully she's going to have an upgraded front wing next time out, although obviously Barras is going to get the better front wing as we go again. We pick up some experience, race done, game saved at this point. I just need to remember to save the game after I do whatever we do after this race, or maybe we should leave it at this and then go through. No, we'll get the drivers upgraded before we leave this episode. So there we go. Michael Barras finishes first. Mia Lattinen 9th. Where does that put us? We're second in the constructors at the moment. Michael Barras is winning the drivers standings at the moment, and I think we'll just had a few good tussles, and we'll just wait for the simulation to run on the other series here. No real need to look at that at the moment. Get rid of all these males. Oh, we've got happy traits on both of our drivers, it seems, and we've got another point to spend on both drivers as well, so we'll get that done. We've got 1.1 million coming into the bank, which is not too shabby at all. The game saves once again. Just wait for the game to save, and then Johnny Racer, great to see us making our transport links with Vienna Air Freight official. As we know, is that another one done? So that's that done. So if we go here now, we can actually activate this bonus, which would give us £100,000 per race, or dollars per race, and then the next bonus will be a drivability bonus, so we'll take that. Money is king in this game for doing everything that we want to do. So we'll switch back to home. We've got the part build complete now. We've got this new front wing done, which is now a 110, 12 better than expected, 10% better on the reliability. So what we're going to do quickly is we're just going to swap these parts. So Lattinen gets this rear wing, the performance at 80, and we're going to put the new front wing in the car of Michael Barras. We'll assign that part. Sweet, just got a shiny new front wing, as we know. And we get to collect a little bit more XP, puts us up to level 3 in the game. We've got points available to spend on the drivers. No, where are we going? Where are we going with this? Get into the drivers and spend points. So I think we've got the smoothness to where we wanted it with Michael Barras. Maybe we should go with consistency. Maybe his cornering, which is his weakest stat. Yeah, we'll give him a bit of an increase to cornering, because he's going to be running out in front. We just want him to keep his cool and just keep going as it is. Whereas Mia Lattinen, we've got her overtaking up at 12 race starts 5. Maybe we want her race starts better, but maybe a consistency or braking. Yeah, we want her to outbrake the other cars. Her overtaking's alright, because she's going to be a little bit further down the order. The car performance, Barras is 3rd on grid, Mia Lattinen is 8th on grid at the moment. Our car is 2nd on the grid now, so we should have some real good performances coming up. We've got Johanna Stein's contract coming up. She's a 2-star rated engineer. We'll just see what else we've got here, since we're making a lot of money. Performance reliability, should we hire this guy? Since we're in the money and we're all about improving the car, just to see what we can do, since her contract's running out. She costs £140,000 per race, so it's not a real massive difference per race, only about 20,000 difference per race. So we'll bring in this guy, what was his name, Tarcisio Capioli. He's into the team now, so once that's done we can now go ahead and build another front wing, which would give us a really overpowered front wing. He can give us that plus 18 bonus and this plus 16, so 139 there. We'll get that part built, so that is going to be ready in time for the next race as well. So should we work on the HQ? Maybe get working on the suspension, or is the car far enough ahead that even if we just keep working on the car now, it is... Oh, we've got a bonus to claim here. We've leveled up. Select your reward for reaching level 3, plus 5% fuel efficiency or plus 5% tyre wear. Fuel efficiency doesn't really matter, so tyre wear is a great help here, so we'll take the tyre wear bonus. Supplier network, we've got 1 idle target slot here. What do we need for this hub? We need 2 freight, 2 shipping, 2 planes. We've got 1 plane, or do we not? Does that plane count as activating that one? We'll get the other plane link done. So we'll go over here. It's going to take 1 race. We can rush it with influence, but I just want to hang on to the influence at the moment. So we'll just run it as normal, and then before we exit this episode, we'll just go ahead and save the game, so we know it's going to be where we left off next time. But that is it for this episode. We've got the Bahrain Grand Prix coming up next. So subscribe, leave a comment, like, all the usual stuff. Go check out the Williams career on the PC version of Motorsport Manager that I'm doing as well. But until next time, I'll see you down the road in Bahrain for the next Grand Prix, and goodbye.